Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with the glorious, long-awaited, the Great GLEBA Overhaul. And as you can see, I have been doing a little bit of preparations, and since the episode last time, I've been extending our farms quite a lot, so that we now have quite a decent, it's not exactly 240, but it's something. Here is a trick for you. If you want to know how many this is generating, you just hover over all of it, and then you see the number of 76,000 of the Yomakos, and that means it is 76 per second. So it's not much. And this one is only 62 per second. So this will be continued to be expanded as we progress, but it'll get us going for now for sure. So what I've done is I'm taking it down here. I'm still leading it in on this side, and any overflow, whenever I have more than 100 seeds in inventory, then they will start being converted here into stack inserters, because we're going to need stack inserters. We're up to 55, plus I think I also have some in my inventory. So we should have enough stack inserters. So now what we can do is we can start working on this bus. And I put these two that we did at the end of the last episode here at the end, where we just converted all into seeds so that we have as many seeds as we need, so we don't lose these. So the objective, what we're going to do is we're going to make a bus that should be no surprise to anyone by looking at this and knowing what I do. Also, by the way, look at this glorious nature. It's all nice and gray. We're protecting the environment with a nice sheet of concrete on top of it, which is exactly the way you want to protect nature. There we go. Let's protect a little bit more nature down here. There we go. That'll be nice and protected under the concrete. And so we're gonna make it 4 things on the bus, at least now. Maybe we'll change that later, but right now it looks like it's gonna be the Yomako fruit, it's gonna be the jelly nut fruit. They have a 1 hour spoil time. It's gonna be bioflux, which has 2 hours spoil time, and it's gonna be spoilage, which has no spoilage. So those are only things. So we're not gonna keep like high spoilage items on the bus. We're gonna keep them off the bus. That's kind of how it is. So let's talk a little bit about what we want on the bus. Well, basically we want the stuff that we already have up here. We want to convert that to the bus. So we most importantly want bioflux. Then we want rocket fuel. We want plastics. We want carbon fiber. Yes, but also there should be carbon somewhere. Yes, carbon. And carbon fiber and sulfur. Those are the items, and then that's it. We don't want anything else to be built on this bus, so that should be interesting. Let's start by looking at some of the benchmark numbers we can expect to work with here. And that's going to be like the basic thing is going to be what if we have one of these, and let's just get a few of those just to kind of get a sense. Oh, that's not inside the network. So that and that. Those are the main ones. And if we just look at it, so here, this is taking 33 inbound and outputting 166. Those are kind of ridiculous numbers. This is why we need legendary stack inserters, because that's a lot of stuff to move. Here, this gets even more insane. It's the same inbound, but now it's 332 outbound, and this is with 1 module or 1 beacon. And over here, it is now also a little bit insane numbers. And it goes here. So what you can see is you could basically take 1 full belt could feed 3 with a Yomako mesh, and could 4 of these bioflux on for 1 belt. So if we wanted to put it on belts, then we could. It's also really enticing, I guess, to build it with direct insertion. But it gets a little bit complicated. The reason why it gets complicated with direct insertion is that we kind of have to do something along the lines of this. Oh, here, just in order to make sure that we get enough inbounds and outbounds here between these two. And I think that we want to do like something like this, that just to get it going. Well, then on top of that, we also need to have a lot outbound, which is going to be another 2 outbound, because this one was 55. That's kind of okay. And this one goes here. Actually, let's get a little bit further down. There. And you can then start seeing that it's going to be really difficult, because I'm also going to get a belt inbound for this, which is still something, and outbound inbound for this, and spoilage out, and nutrients in for all of them, and nutrient production. And I've actually been looking at this, plus the ratio here is absolutely atrocious. There's an excess of 266 per second and an excess of 83 per second. That's really bad. So what we do, what I've thought about is, let's just look at this and say, what if we just make 4 of these and then pretend that they only consume 60 per second? Then what would that be like? Because that would be probably a lot easier to make, and I like something that's easier to make, and I don't have to work on this because this is so fast. I don't have to work on this at full ratio. It's gonna be fast enough. So what if we did something like this? Like, this is obviously too much, but if I could get a full belt into each of them, then I'd still get a lot here, I guess. So how much exactly? That would be, we take the 221.7, isn't that? Oops, here. And then we would sort of divide it by, well, we're not actually, we divide it by how much? 332.5 times the 240. So we get 160. So this one would generate 160 bioflux per second. I think that's sufficient for us. Probably a little bit less because we also need to get some fuel in. So what we could do now is saying, okay, I'm going to get 1 inbound and I'm going to get 1 inbound. They will both be mixed belts, and that should be fine. Okay. Then I'm also going to get a 3rd one inbound. This will be the bioflux. So let's start working on this. Actually, I might as well just do that. We're going to be using exclusively this. So this one, they will be here. This will be the Yumako. Yumako is going to be at the end because Yumako is the stuff that has to be consumed the fastest. And therefore, I want to consume it from the where the belt ends. That just makes it a little bit better. There, here, here, and here. And then we're going to get inbound. Every single one will be filtered. That is super important because I don't want them to have anything weird, and it also just makes it visible what we want. Hey, look at that. Yee, awesome. We got something. Now, there are 2 outbounds we want, and that is, we want outbound here. We want the bioflux outbound. And yeah, I don't know. We probably don't need 2 for this, but hey, let's do it. And that's going to go up and up. This will not be a full belt, and what I'm going to do then is, yeah, like that. So now this is my outbound belt. All right. This is unfortunately, because it's GLEBA, this is not it. This just isn't it. I actually really want to save on my better ones, and I can't imagine that 55 here, it's actually going to be less than 55, it's going to be 40, is more than 2 stacking, so it's definitely not. Okay, so we also need some junk outbound, and junk outbound comes here. I mean, by junk I mean we need to make sure that we have spoilers outbound, so we're going to get spoilers out here. And then that will be, I don't know, something like this, and then go out. Good. So now we have like 2 outbounds. We have no inbounds. Well, these are the inbounds. So let's say that we get bioflux out. Then I think I want to make sure that we also get bioflux in. And bioflux will be made by nutrients locally. I think that's an important part. If we look at the cost of this, then the max consumption is 3.85, and each of the nutrients is 2. So this means it consumes slightly less than 2 nutrients per second. So that's only 4 nutrients. This one without any beacons is still going to be 100. So yeah, I think we're good. So I'm going to be taking normal inserter in, and that's going to be filtered by bioflux because that's what's going to get in here. And then I will be outputting it here, and then also taking it from here. Now, obviously, this needs a Kickstarter, but I'll gracefully ignore that problem right now, and then we'll get to it. This also needs an output as well for. Damn, sucks. Yeah, this is kind of something we have to make sure that everything gets an output. Every belt, every machine has to have a spoilers output. That's the only thing that we can make sure that it works. Like that, for example, will also be a thing. And then it goes in here. Like every single end belt here, even though the nutrients stop at this point, then they will still go down here, and then they'll convert into spoilers, and then the spoilers will go back and go out. So now we've done all inputs, all outputs, all spoilers taken care of, all output taken care of. This is good. Whew. All right. That's one thing. Now we just need to figure out how big do we want the other part, this part here. Let's see. Let's make it a little bit further away so we don't get crowded. Crowded out here. And that's this one. And let's make it, give it as much room as possible. That's there. And then we change the recipe. This will be the Yumako conversion, and this will be the jelly conversion. And we're just checking that like all the way here. Yes, there's a positive number for each. There is exactly a 0. Wow. So everything gets consumed here. I mean, it won't, because I'm still going to be starving on some of it. So it is fine. Now I want to make sure that I can get this out. What I want to do is I want to get, what if we do like this? And these will only take Yumako mesh. There. And you know we're going to need a lot of inputs and outputs here. Okay, and this will go in here and in. Like that. I think that's good, because that means that I now make sure that we get it on the outside, and that means I need the other one, which needs even more output. They'll be up and down and all over the place here. They will now go into the side of this, because they will go on the inside. Wow, that takes a lot more space than I thought. Yeah. Okay. So that is another thing. Okay, do we like this? This means that now we have unfortunately not done all the difficult part. The difficult part is the input and output. Oh, that works. That works. Okay. Okay, I have to keep this as the output belt and this one as the spoilage output belt. So let's keep that in mind. Let's make sure that we get inputs. This one gets an input. Let's get that input from this side. You're going to go in here. And then I can pick it up from both sides here. But then it will only be the jelly nut. That one, that one. It's way too much. Let's actually just try to save them when we don't need it, because this one will be working only at 33, so that should be fine. And then the idea is this could spoil. It rarely should, but if it does spoil, then I have it easy access to throw it out on the spoilers belt. So that's good. Okay, so that's the inbound here. Let's take the inbound for the Yumako, and that's going to be over here. That's going to be a lot more. Then I'm going to do... No, it's not going to be more. It's going to be exactly the same. I'm going to take a non-specialized stack and sorter, or a non-legendary stack and sorter. You can, of course, use legendaries everywhere, obviously, but I don't have so many legendaries right now, and you can see how many I'm already using. So we're going to try to keep it flowing here. Okay, this is good. We can always compact it later on if we need it. Now, what are we missing? We're missing the spoilage handling here. We missed the spoilage handling out of these, and we missed the nutrients in, and we also, the worst part is we also need the Yumako seeds. So let's get a long-hand inserter here and get that to be also throwing out the seeds on the same belt. That's a little problematic, but I can't really have a separate belt for this. Could I? I could actually, right? Could I? Yes, I could do that. And because they definitely don't need to go anywhere else. This will then be the seeds. Alright, that's actually not bad. I think that's better. There. So we get the seeds and they get put in box, and the rest, so the spoilers is a free spoilers belt. This is definitely a thing that we repeat up here, except with the other kind of seed. There. Alright, so now we have spoilage out, we have seeds out, we don't have nutrients in. That's the only thing we don't have on this build. And we do have the seed builds here, so I could just bring it up and get you in here. And then if I pick it up, see, I can move this whole thing one down and then just pick it up from this belt. But then I can't take out the excess. So I think that I want to do something like this. Yeah. And then I will pick up also with a green symbol there, and they will be nutrient focused there. Good. So that means we can pick up nutrients, and we can also see that there is an idle space here. So there is 2 tiles that are not using there, and then we can get that, close it up a little bit. There. That's the closer we can make it. All right. Then I need to have this as a Kickstarter, and I think I want to keep it as two different things because there can be two conditions that need to be set. And these will be here and here. This will output the content, including the crafting, including the fuel. And then I will say, if you have no nutrients equals 0, then you're active. And what are you going to request? You're going to request... This is only for sort of kickstarting. The next one is going to be enable when bioflux. And 0 is not the right one. It has to be less than or equal to... No, less than 5. Because if it has 5, then it can start. If it doesn't have 5, then it cannot start. So here I'm just going to make 5. It's just a kickstarter. It should not... It should... Once it's going, it should be keep going. But I need to be able to get it started. Oh, and very, very important. I need to trash unrequested. Otherwise, this will jam. Okay, so this is nice and crisp. Let's put some lights in here. Well, there's not a lot of room for lights here. Here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Yeah, awesome. Okay, then we have to figure out if this is the right place. I think that the whole thing could be moved over one tile, and it would be just generally a better build. And we also have to figure out how far away from this we want to make it. I think we want to sort of keep... Let's try doing it here. I don't want to cram it too close. Right, I think we have the first build. Isn't that amazing? This is the spoilers belt. I will balance the spoilers belt. It seems a little bit weird. But I just want to make sure that when it comes out, it might be super imbalanced now. And if I build more of these, then it might be even more imbalanced. And this one is going to go out as... like that? Feels weird, right? Yeah, we'll just put it out here on the top one. And the bioflux is coming in, and we jump from here and then jump into that location and then here. That's the bioflux. And we're going to have to sort out what we're going to do with the excess soon. And this will be, and this will be, these are the two inputs. All right. And then you can see that we're not doing so hot when it comes to this part here. That one, that one, that one, that one. And then we just push it this way. Because this is the most important, the only important thing, I guess. That. And this doesn't quite reach. It probably reaches right there. Of course it does. Alright, let's... Moment of truth. Does it work? And no, that is actually this part here. And you can see there's some junk, there's some junk, there's some junk. Oh, you have to turn. Oh no, there's a miss here. There you go. Alright, so we got the Yamakos, yes, and we got the other ones. They go out on separate sides. And they work, it seems. This is now starting up. And these two are disabled. And they will not request anything. Well, this one's still requesting something, but it shouldn't be. That's probably just whatever was inbound from before. And we are not getting any... Oh, right, that is correct. This one has to be here, and I was missing one the other way. There we go. It had to be two of those, one for each direction. It feels funny, but it also feels really good to have like a central belt of nutrients, because nutrients are super annoying. And this is going to be 160, and we're done. Yeah, well, by the way, is it actually going to go back on the bus? Well, of course it is, but it's also not going to go back on the bus, because I also need it to go into a... Here, down here, because what we want all of this to be as well... Oh, look at that disgusting thing here. You. Good. We also wanted to go into some rocket silos. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles is enough. I might want to just get another little row here of protective concrete. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. And then I'm going to take... I want to build like this, right? This thing here. A little bit different, maybe. But these are not good quality modules. Fine. And they're going to bring stuff in here. And let's see, I also need that. Yes. Okay, so let's do this part. And basically try to link it here. The question is like really how much space to... I'm gonna put it the same place. I don't know. Maybe I don't need so much in terms of launching capacity here. But let's smash it in here, and then we can always figure out if they need it somewhere else. So I'm gonna be making a little bit of box here, where I use inbound. Ooh, they are not great. So this will be like that. Then I am going to get you from here. Then we'll also be getting some spoilage, because we know there will always be spoilage everywhere, because hey, yay, GLEBA, spoilage, woo! Here. And like that. That's gonna be like our baseline. Ugh, and then it gets out of this area. This takes too much space though. And it also doesn't really have enough. You know what? Well, whatever happens, happens. On what happens on GLEBA stays on GLEBA, and that's spoilage. So what happened was that everything turned into spoilage. Yay! So that means we have to make sure that we deal with spoilage in a reasonable way, in an unreasonable way at that. So we're going to be getting full lanes of spoilage. Oh, this spoilage is not stacked. It absolutely must be stacked. Woo! We're going to make a spoilage stacker here. Ooh. That's so sexy. No, not really. There. That's just gonna stack the spoilage, because I do not want this to be coming out on the belt unstacked. So, with that being said, here at the end, we want to do something with our spoilage. That's a lot of belts. Here. At the end, like we do with this part. Should I also do it up top? No, I'm going to build it down here at the bottom, and we're going to do something with spoilage. So what is it we want to do with spoilage? We can do many things that are options. One option is to use the... Do we not have that? Where are you at? Where do we not have the burner? No, that should have those burners, right? That one, yes. Yeah, so one of these burners, they can burn spoilage pretty easily, because spoilage doesn't really have any burn value. So it'll just disappear as fast as we can throw it in there. However, we do actually need some spoilage, legendary spoilage. So I think that it's better for us to use a upcycler. And then we can do upcycling in various different ways. One is we can actually just delete it if we don't care about it, or we can upcycle it. If we upcycle it, then we can upcycle it in a complicated way by sort of taking the nutrients and turning them into here with some productivity, so we get as much as possible, and then go in here and then use quality to convert it, and you know, happy, and it'll be a good ratio and all that stuff. Or even if I want to be silly, then I could do that one as well. That gives more productivity. I don't care about it. We have tons of this, and we just need to get rid of it. So I'm going to make a simple upcycler for this, where it just keeps recirculating until it hits legendary. Okay, so let's fire it up. By calculation, each of these should take 32. So if I had 10 of them, then I would be able to have an excess consumption here of 240. So that should be enough, but it just kind of feels a little bit unlikely that it's true. So I built a little bit extra, also to sort of cater for changing of recipes and all that stuff. And yeah, it's also just not quite stacked high enough, I think, to really work. And here I want to make sure that we get the right inbound and the left inbound, and also filter these outbound as usual. No, yes, that one. And this one should also be filtered out. That side, yes, good. And I'm just gonna remove this. I don't like having those things stuck in here. There we go. Okay, so this one maybe works, but it'll get rid of all of the other stuff. So this, yay, which is also awesome, except it's not really that awesome, because this is gonna disappear, or it's just gonna be standing here and spoiling. So I guess for now we're gonna make it a really simple build here, where it just says, oh, if spoilers, by the way, because the first one coming out is definitely going to be the most spoiled. There, and here, right? So that means that by the end of it, if it spoils, then it goes down and just gets here. So it'll always be available. I'm definitely going to do something else. And then we're going to have to go back here and figure out why is it not working. It is working. The reason why it's not working is actually because we are consuming the majority of our stuff up here. So we don't really want to do that generally, but I also do want to do that because we do need more stack inserters, and we want to keep making stack inserters. So stack inserters is more important than bioflux right now. I don't know if we need an extra bioflux, but I'm definitely reserving this one for bioflux. So I'm going to be just making it something like something like this, right? There, and then take all the other things out, the stuff that the good old stack inserters, don't want to waste those here. This is just to indicate to myself that I have already pre-allocated that space, so I don't use it for something else. There we go, so that's pre-allocated. Then I want one free spot, and then I want the next one, I think. Okay, we got bioflux, we got the Yumakos, and we kind of got that as well. Let's have a look on the overgrowth soil. Okay, we got a pretty good overgrowth, so it's time for us to actually go up here and scale up this part. What I do by here is we can take... So you can see here what is available, and the ones that have a green tile, those are the ones we can make overgrowth soils at. And you can see that there are still a lot of spaces that we can add more, and I'll just add more here, so we keep consuming it. All right, let's have a look at the next one, and we can see I have now queued up about 1,000 extra of what I had up here. So we're getting more up here and more over here. There's still a lot of things going. I might actually just go and do this and say, okay, then it gets up to 68,000. It's not a lot, which means 68 per second. Now I've been thinking, I don't actually think I want to leave an empty space here. I think I want to make it sort of 2 and then, yeah. Right, let's do the next one. The next one, let's start by sort of getting this baseline here. And what is the next one? I think plastic is the most important thing we can build here. What we need to build is we need to make plastic, sulfur, rocket fuel, carbon fiber. Let's see if there's something that is more generic than the rest. And so this one is bioflux plus mash. Then if we look at this one, this is bioflux plus jelly, which is kind of the same, plus some water in here. Okay. Then what about sulfur? That's spoilage plus bioflux. So again, like bioflux plus something else. That's really good. So we're kind of sort of looking at something that is somewhat the same. Then what about this, which is carbon plus Yamako mash, but the carbon is no bioflux though. So this might be a little bit different, but those are basically the things we need. And also here, oh, let's also get the spoilage, the burnt spoilage to get carbon. The carbon will just be for that one, right? So they might be linked together. They are pretty well linked together right now. Perfect. Okay, that's actually excellent. All right, let's not worry about this. This is the most important thing, but it just gives us an indication that at least the rocket fuel is going to be exactly the same, except a little bit different. So okay, this is 174 per second. So just 2 of these, and we are good to go. That is actually going to be exactly what we need. This will be more than a full belt. So if we just take a full belt, and if we just build this and then say, well, this is probably just going to be 240. And then we need a Yumako mesh here. If I can get that in somewhere here. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at this. We have an excess. And we have an excess. So we could actually make 340 out of this. Oh my god, that's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. I kind of don't want to just cap this at less if we can. Yeah, I think I'd want to see if we can get that a little bit more. So what we definitely need is, let's see the ratio here. This is 66 that has to go in. So let's do 2 of these here. And this will have to be filtered. Everything gets filtered here. And then outbound is going to be probably the toughest part here. And these are all going to be filtered to plastic. And once it becomes plastic, or on the plastic belt, there will be no spoilage. That's one of the few things that we can at least say. Good. Could I just leapfrog this one and then do this here again? Yes, I definitely could. Might even be able to do something like this. Yeah, that'll be 2 belts outbound. Okay, this is not awful. We could also just get a little bit further out so that it could be on this side. There, that's also an option. A good option at that. Okay, well, this definitely has to have some inbounds as well. And that's going to be... How fast is this? 33. That's going to be non-stack inserters then. And they will be filtered to that. Sweet. And this is the only thing that comes by here. So this will be our input. And then the other input will be for on that side. And this will be the Fireflux. Oh, that's not very much. That's actually a single non-stack inserter. Should be fine for this. Okay, that's feels a little weird, doesn't it? Maybe. And let's have a spoilers belt because that's kind of important. I'm only going to take this downwards because that only goes into stuff like this. Nothing else. Oh, we might want to scrap that. Well, no, we'll just build another one. That makes it easier. And yeah, I think we want just eight rocket launchers because that can give us 16,000 pretty easily. Okay, this is good. What are we missing? We're missing the biofluxer. And I kind of want it with this as well. So this biofluxer here will take from this bioflux belt and then get inbound. There. So that takes bioflux inbound. And then these will also be bioflux, of course. So let's deal with spoilage. I'm going to take a long-handed spoilage outsider. That's going to be here. That is going to be, you're going to be outbound, you're going to be outbound, and you're going to be outbound. So that takes the spoilage out. This one should also be able to take spoilage out, but it should also be able to take the seeds out. So you're going to have some seeds as well. Damn, always keep track of that. So seeds have to go out here. That's why everything must be filtered. So nutrients. Oh no, nutrients. I guess nutrient belt will be out here then. I guess that could work. You need to be able to grab from that belt, and that's going to be a little bit tricky with this one. What if we do this instead, and then take this one, being the seeds? Oh yes. That's probably better, because I'm going to need a long-handed inbound here, and inbound here. Okay, so there's a little bit of an issue. There we go. That's also not working. Okay, we're actually in trouble when it comes to undergrounds. I had not seen that coming. Maybe I can do it this way. There. Okay, and you... Yeah, so that's the spoilage. And you're going to be putting spoilage out here. That's not going to be very much. That's going to be fine. And then we have this spoilage belt, which also needs output, have output. All the machines have output, but all the belts do not have output. This belt could be a spoilage belt. So I'm going to be actually doing this. And then saying, if there's spoilage in this belt, and please take it over here. There we go. That's not spoilage. Well, it will turn into spoilage. Isn't that lovely? Right, so those are the two input belts. This is, let's see, Bioflux. Oh, Bioflux belt could also be a spoilage belt. And There could be very unlikely, but hey, it could happen. I think I've now handled all of the ways that I can get spoilage, all the ways that I can get anything else, and I think it actually works. Okay, that's good. That's good. And this is now not really placed at a great location. And this produces 300 and what was it? 40 something? Crazy. We also need to stack the spoilage on the way out as well. This is a little bit annoying since I am going to do this part here. And then get that spoilage stacker. That's apparently a thing we need to do now. Could I get... Oops. Could I get you like one tile up? It kind of somehow feels better. Sure. Alright. So spoiler stacker out. And there. So now we have 2 potential things. And this is going to be bioflux inbound. So that's lovely. That's, hey, we got bioflux. I wonder if I should only have it like on the single side of the belt so that it's less that spoil. I think so. I think that's actually better because it's not going to be, this is 120 and there's no way I'm going to consume 120. But if I have it on 2 sides of the belt, one side of the belt will always sit and just spoil. So I think that's a good idea. Alright, and now the other one was the Yumako, which is up here. Oh, look at these glorious belts. That is so beautiful. So beautiful to see these full belts here. Is this working? No, it's not working. That's why. Of course it's not working. That's because we're using all of the seeds. So we have to sort of conserve it. And that means this one flows down here and becomes converted into seeds as fast as we can possibly can. And then get the seeds to make into the overgrowth soils. And our Sulaco, what is it called? This one. It's working fine. By the way, wasn't there something I wanted to show? Oh yeah, there was something I wanted to show. I need to make sure that there's filters here, because otherwise it actually inserts some spoilage in here. And then I also have a spoilage handling on the outside, and then just picking up the spoilage. So you need to have a spoilage output, and this one has been added to the blueprint book. So if you are a patron supporter, you get that as part of the blueprint book. Not Fulgora. As much as I like Fulgora, we're not going there now. Right, so this is amazing. Does it work? It looks like it's working. Cool. So let's get some... Oh, this is not stacked up yet. Let's make sure that we get that here and that one here so that we can actually get these launched. Cool. Right, I am going to do something along the lines of this again. Except now I'm going to build it here. Yes. Go. And that will now be 2 lanes inbound. 2 stack lanes inbound. That is really nice. Nice amount of plastic we got here. And that goes up and goes this way. And really? Where is it? There. Ta-da! Plastic! Woohoo! That's amazing. And this is not working. Why is it not working? Because it is not actually getting its own. There we go. So now it's self-feeding. That's a nice little detail to make sure that it's self-feeding. Now comes the beauty of it, and that is actually the fact that we should be able to basically take this design and replicate it. And because what we now need to do is we need to do this one. Here, and you're then going to be the jelly instead. So all of this should just be the same. The only difference is that I need to now be able to get water inbound, which should be completely trivial since that's just going to come in here. Right, we're ready to hook up the next one, and unfortunately I can't do it. This is one of the things that is so infuriating, the fact that you cannot stack any of these 3 things in here. And that means the only thing we can do is just put them into boxes and just let the robots do the rest. Awful, awful, awful. But yeah, well, it is what it is. Maybe it'll be fixed at some point, because I think that's an egregious error. There, I said it. That's how I feel it. And there we go. And then I am going to get the jelly nut in here. That one. And that's going to get in here. And then we'll get the jelly nut And I really don't like having so much of it just going the wrong way. So we're just going to be smashing it as much as possible this way, which means, of course, we're going to get less moving on. And let's see if it works. If I set all the parameters correctly, this one seems to be busy. And let's see, you're busy, you're 100% busy, that's good. You're 100% busy, that is good. No stacking, no nothing. And they just fill up these boxes. Great. Yet another thing that has been set up, and it's not like a lot of rocket here. But the thing is, like, it's so ridiculously simple that I could just, hold on. Couldn't I just, I could probably just, like, double it by just getting it a little bit further. Let me just try that. Interesting. Let's see if it works with just doubling it. And now I decided to only put it out on one side because even now it's, I don't know, what is it? It is only 46. So 46 is not even half of a half belt, half stacked, half built. So, or fully stacked, half side of a half belt. Yeah, whatever. So this works. It's awesome. And yeah, so that's now 46 per second. Also a really decent amount. I think I forgot the lights though. That's kind of important. So we'll just smash in some lights here and there, and there. And over here we'll definitely get those on either side. Good. That's good locations. Is there more? Yes, there is. I think that we can also do sulfur, right? If we're looking at it, just kind of looking at this baseline here and then saying, okay, what if the sulfur was the answer? Or was the question that I posed? Then it would be bioflux, we got it. And then instead of having this one in the middle, we would simply just get the spoilage in here. Which means it's going to be, granted, it's going to be a little bit different, but not so much. How much spoilage do we actually need for this? Quite a lot of spoilage in order to get that outbound. Okay, so this is going to consume the majority of our spoilage until we have like full belts of, or full rockets of that. So again, pretty simple build, exactly the same as, well, pretty much the same as the other one. Here we are with the last setup of this, and it should be simple. Let's see if it works. We do have not enough spoilage, of course, but let's just give it a shot. So we're going to do this one, and I am going to be pushing these downwards there, so that goes in. And this will be also returning here. That is going to be the bioflux, so that's, again, we'll do that. There we go. So we get maybe bioflux in. Bioflux comes in, plus a little bit of the spoilage. Not so much, but hey, this is working, good, and we get a little bit of spoilage. So the spoilage that we now generate, which is just always generated here, yay, more spoilage, then we'll just go in here first, and then only if that doesn't go anywhere, then it'll go down and be recirculated into some legendary. This one seems to work, just not enough spoilage, but hey, that's a luxury problem. This is not something that needs to burn very much, so we'll also get that going. I think that also with this setup, we're actually going to generate a lot less spoilage than we're used to, because here there's just a lot of things that just don't really work very well, and therefore they just tend to spoil. All this will need to be deconstructed at some point. So this one, for example, has been pretty much deconstructed. I've cut the line, so it's not going to be able to in here. The next thing I think I want to do is we want to make carbon, but carbon isn't useful for anything except for going into here. Yeah, sure, we need it a little bit together with the sulfur for some ammo, but I don't really think that's worth building it separately. So we're going to be building a setup here with carbon fiber. And lo and behold, I wonder if we can use the existing setup here for a carbon fiber setup. So let's see, if this was carbon fiber, that one, and then it'd be Yumako mesh and carbon. Okay, so this would be Yumako mesh. There. Let's have a look at ratios with Yumako mesh. That is very good. And then there is a little bit of carbon needed, which is ridiculously low amount. So where would that be built? I mean, I guess I could just build an extra one out here that would just be just for carbon to get some spoilage in, get that going. I think the rest is pretty damn simple. These two kind of have to be swapped, I think. Yeah, And then this cannot just be set up exactly like the other builds. So it actually turned out that I needed to build a little bit more here. We needed to be build a dedicated carbon location. Why? Because, well, this carbon location it's not producing very much carbon, so now it's producing 27.7. And yeah, again, not enough spoilers to keep this going. This is interesting. Oh yeah, here's a extra little thing that someone forgot. And lovely. Oops, there. There's always going to be these standard things, right? And we'll just see at the end if everything's working. So that gets the spoilers. That's all good. And spoilers out here. And then we get the next one. We're also going to get the spoilers in here again. Yeah. This one will not get spoilers in, but it will get some bioflux. And that's going to come on from here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Oops. There, and that just goes away. I don't even know if well, I do know that I want to get it out here because I need to get it in to this one, but I don't know if I need to get it anywhere beyond that point. So that goes out, and we're not getting any spoilers, so we're not getting any of this either. Let's see, are you working? You should be coming in. Yes. Okay, so it's making a little bit of this. And our funny thing is we're actually out of spoilage. We can't support the spoilage production. There's like a little bit of spoilage here, but it goes in. And I guess also at some point when these sulfur deposits here are filling up, that is 500 per stack. And we also need here. So that gets us carbon fiber as well. So let's have a look at the things we can do, or the things we have done previously. We got the bioflux, we got the rocket fuel, we got the plastic, we got the carbon fiber now, we got the carbon, and to get carbon and sulfur we can also just combine that if we want to make some more explosives. Then the only thing we do not have is the pentapods and the science, but that's going to be for the next episode. So what we've done now is we've made a massive overhaul. Look at how small this is. Like, I built a massive bus and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if it's big enough. Let's pave some more world. And then it turns out that that's not really going to be an issue, is it? It's just going to be fine. Yep, that is going to be it. So if you are interested in the blueprints, they are available to Patreon supporters, of course, and we can also see that these are launching, and that's going to go up to, yeah. So blueprints are available to Patreon supporters, and save games, of course, if there's something you want to tinker with. I'm sure that there are some mistakes and errors in this, usually probably some spoilers that accrue somewhere. So that will be something we'll just check out and find in the upcoming episodes. Be sure to also leave a comment below if you find some glaring mistakes, and I'll maybe fix them for next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. The great GLEBA overhaul, the big part of it. Until next time, take care and stay effective.